Hey y'all, this is Libby. Welcome to my channel. So I just saw an update on the beautiful Sheridan Wahl, who you may or may not know went missing out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She is originally from, well, I don't know if it's originally, but she was attending school at least in Florida, and she came to Myrtle Beach for just about a day or so. And her autopsy results are back. They're not what I expected, and I'm confused. And we have basically, it was, undetermined cause of death, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I wanted to just give you a recap in case you're new to the case. So I'm going to share my video that I did of her. So let's get into that. This is where she was. Okay, so that right there is the something, oh yeah, Rent Me Superstore. Okay, so she apparently attempted to rent one of those scooters. Well, those are golf carts, but anyway, they have scooters too. And what she told her mother on the last day that she spoke with her, which was Sunday the 19th at around 1 p.m., she told her that she was trying to rent a scooter, but they wouldn't let her do it because she didn't have shoes on. Okay, I don't know where her shoes are. I don't, I don't know what happened with that, but that was mentioned that she didn't have shoes. Now, the reason I find that significant is that when she was found, when her dead body was found, she still did not have shoes on. So I don't know. Yeah, Phoenix, get out of my head. You always type things like right as I'm saying them. Every tourist town is transient. Yep, for sure. And there's a large population of homeless, and I'm not coming at the homeless, okay, because there are definitely people who experience homelessness who are not into criminal activity. Maybe they've fallen on hard times that they didn't have control over. I don't know. I'm not going to stereotype people like that, but I will say that in that area, there's a lot of just open drug use. Okay. Needles, pills, definitely pot, which I don't think is serious, but anyway, it's just my personal opinion. Meth and heroin and that kind of garbage is a big problem. And along with that comes crime. Okay. So that leads me to show you. This is Myrtle Beach crime. Okay. So we get an F rating for crime. Crime in Myrtle Beach is 399% above the national average. Violent crime is 214% above the national average in Myrtle Beach. And so just to give you some perspective, when comparing to the rest of South Carolina, so let's, for example, if you look at total crime, okay, Myrtle Beach per 100,000 people, total crime is 12,424. But for South Carolina, it's 3,452. Okay. So that's about 3 times, right? Well, almost 4 times that of the rest of the state. Okay. Point being, Myrtle Beach is crime ridden, and particularly in that specific area where Sheridan last was. And so for Myrtle Beach Police Department to say, oh, she left here safely, I call bullshit. So that day when she talked to her mom, she said, I'm coming home. Okay. I don't know the circumstances. She hadn't visited her dad yet, from what I understand, but she's like, I'm coming back to Florida. And her mom was like, please don't drive back today. You're not going to, well, she said she last heard from her at 1 p.m. But anyway, I know her mom tried to talk her out of driving back. It is at least an 8.5-hour drive back to Tampa, which is, I believe that's where they live in Florida. at least within that area. So it's an at least 8.5 hour drive. And so anyway, even if Sheridan had decided that she was going to drive back to Florida, I wanted to see, okay, what would that route look like? Well, lo and behold, that route would take her, at least, by what Google directions say, and she could have taken a different way, but she would have taken this 501 up to 378. Well, guess where her body was found? It was found right off of 378 around Hannah. And I'll show you that right here. So her car was found here on Keith Lane, okay? And her body was found around 10 miles from there, 10 miles closer to the beach, behind a fire station. Well, thank you for coming, innocent till proven guilty. I'm glad you're here. Just briefing of what's happened, which I've already talked about, but.
Trey, Jennifer, there are more questions than there are answers about what happened to Sheridan Wahl over the last week. However, I just got this initial report from the Florence County Sheriff's Office. I'm still looking through it, but the newest information is 2 days. And it's 2 days before Wahl's body was found. Florence County deputies say they found a burned car in a ditch. Officials say a Toyota Corolla was found in a ditch on Keith Lane in Scranton. That's about 10 miles from where Wahl's body was discovered. Now we're trying to find out if it was her car. Now deputies say the VIN number was unreadable and there was no license plate on the car. Here's what else we know about the case. Wahl.
I just want to pause right there. So I do have that scrolling across the screen, but for those who haven't read it yet, I just want to reiterate what he just said, that her car was found burned and the plates are missing and the VIN is not legible. So hello, that right there tells us foul play, right? Somebody doesn't want us to know that that's her car, but somebody thinks they're smarter than law enforcement, okay? Okay, I'm actually gonna stop that there because I think that's pretty much brings you up to speed. Her car was, like I said, found 10 miles east of, no. Her car was found 10 miles west of her body. So in other words, she would have been heading, if she was heading back to Florida, she should have kept going west. And I know that sounds weird, but in order to drive that route, you have to get to the interstate. So you have to go pretty far in west to do that. Anyway, so instead of, like if she were to walk someplace, or even if she were to drive someplace, why would she head back toward Myrtle Beach? I just don't understand. I don't understand that. Anyway, I'm going to share the autopsy report video. This is just crazy to me. Crazy. I'm going to mute myself.
Realtors like to boast how much they can sell. Our company gives back.
Michael has worked on anti-bullying event with me when we did a walk-on glass.
Many children in our community.
That's coming out today on a breaking news story we've been following for you since yesterday. The circumstances surrounding this woman, Sheridan Wahl's death. Yesterday, an autopsy report revealed that she died as a result of multiple blunt force injuries due to a fall. Her manner of death is being classified as undetermined. Wahl was last seen September 19th on South Ocean Boulevard right here in Myrtle Beach. At that time, she was FaceTiming with her mother. The same day, her car was found burned in a cornfield. Then 2 days after that, September 21st, Her body was found at the Hannah Salem Friendfield Fire Department. That's where we find our Catherine Phillips tonight. And Catherine, you spoke with the coroner today about why her manner of death is undetermined.
Okay, so pay attention, guys. Her car was found, and then her body was found 2 days later. Now, they're about to tell you how long they believe she's been deceased. So there's going to be a period, a significant period of hours that are unaccounted for. Just listen.
So what was the reasoning?
Well, Eric, while he can figure out what happened, that she did die from multiple blunt force injuries, what happened before that's unclear. And there's a gap in the timeline that's making this investigation just a little more difficult.
Where's the rest of that time?
An undetermined manner of death in the months-long investigation into what happened to Sheridan Wahl. Florence County Coroner Keith Van Lutken says while it's clear she died from a fall landing just beneath the tower at the Hannah Salem Friendfield Fire Station, it's not clear what caused her fall.
She had no external trauma to her body to indicate that she had been in an altercation. That's still not to say that somebody didn't push her, throw her off, shove her, whatever.
Von Lutken revealing today Wahl was picked up from where her car was found burned in a ditch in a cornfield and brought to the fire station, around a 10-mile trip. Police found her car around 2 in the afternoon on a Sunday, just over an hour after she was last heard from in Myrtle Beach, but didn't.
Okay, so her car was found in that ditch, burned. Okay, drove through the cornfield, found in a ditch, burned an hour after she left Myrtle Beach. But she was nowhere to be seen. Okay. And I want to know, what is the cause of her car catching on fire? Do we not have, firefighters who know how to do that kind of, I don't know what they're called, you guys, but you know how they can determine the cause of a fire. Would a car just explode and burst into flames, just crashing into the cornfield? Was her airbag deployed? Where's her license plate? Why can't we read the VIN number? See what I'm saying?
Didn't find her body until just before 9 Tuesday morning.
There's some unaccounted time that nobody heard from her from phone calls or text. So we don't know if she was with somebody or was she by herself. We do know that from talking with the witness, we do know that she was dropped off at the fire station. She was by herself.
The coroner says he thinks.
Okay, so they're calling this person a witness. Was this witness the person who picked her up and dropped her off? Why are we believing that this person just dropped her off and sent her along her way by herself? Why did they drop her at the fire station? Help me understand.
She could have died 15 to 18 hours before they found her. And that gap in the timeline is what's keeping him from determining if her death was a homicide, suicide, or accident.
So the only thing that I'm left with is undetermined. And I think that due to the complexity of the case, I think that's the best ruling for this.
Now, he does add that there was nothing in her bloodstream that he thought was concerning. So nothing new to share with that. Now, we learned that they did get a statement from the man that dropped Wahl off, but they say that's all we can know about him so far. Now, we did reach out to SLED to hear what kind of else is going on in this investigation, but they say they can't comment on anything else today, that just it's ongoing.
Okay, so that sounds promising. That means, hopefully to me, that they're still investigating. And they're not just like, oh, okay, undetermined. Well, we'll just, because something is amiss, right? Wouldn't you guys agree? I'm going to share. Okay, where is it? I wanted to share some of her music with you, and then I'm also going to read from the article. Let me just
Your new choice in coverage and values. We've been investing billions to bring our award-winning 5G network.
Hi, everybody. It's Song Request.
Okay, so this is Cher, and this is from 2014. So this is quite, this is back when she was just a youngin', and she was young when she passed. She was only 21. So this is when she was real young. And I'm just going to set that there, and I'm going to read from this article because there was some additional information from that went along with that video. Sorry. Okay, so her timeline. She was last seen around 1 p.m. on September 19th, and she was last seen on Ocean Boulevard. Okay, that's where she FaceTimed with her mother, and she told her mother that she was, upset because she had wanted to rent a scooter and they didn't allow her to do so. So she said, I'm driving back home. And there you see, just over an hour later, her burned car is found in a ditch at 2:23 p.m. And that drive is just about an hour drive. So this is really a tight timeline here. But again, her car was found without a license plate in a cornfield on fire. All right, so then September 21st, Tuesday, 8:45 a.m., her body is found. Okay. So in between September 19th at 2:23 p.m. and Tuesday, September 21st, 8:45 a.m. That's a whole day and some change, right? No one knows where she is. But someone picked her up. I want to know when they picked her up. Was it on Sunday? If it was on Sunday, there's some hours missing, right? There's some hours missing because he said that she could have been deceased for 15 to 18 hours. So there's some time in there. There's some extra time in there. And we need to be able to account for that. And I just think that the person who drove her or someone else has those answers. So this article actually says, based on the coroner's examination, that Wall's body was at the fire department for about 18 hours, means that she died around 2:45 p.m. Monday. It still leaves her whereabouts unaccounted for about 24 hours. The coroner added that there were no phone calls or texts during that unaccounted for time. But he said investigators do know from witnesses that she was exhibiting unusual or erratic behavior. So there's apparently more than one witness that we're talking about here. He revealed to WMBF News that a man picked up Wall at the scene of the crash off Keith Lane and then dropped her off at the fire department. Okay, so it's interesting how they state that as fact. So the coroner said, yes, a man picked up Wall at the scene of the crash and then dropped her off. How is that verified? Is this on camera? How do we know that this person is telling the truth? Anyway, the coroner added that investigators spoke with the man who gave her a ride and took his statements. No other information was provided on the driver. Wonder why. According to South Carolina state law, autopsy and toxicology reports are not public records based on and South Carolina Supreme Court opinion back in 2014 that states those reports are considered medical records. Interesting. But coroners can talk publicly, and I'm thankful that he did, about the results of blood screenings. And so he did reveal that the toxicology report showed nothing in her bloodstream of concern. And I'm really glad that he revealed that. So there's no speculation as to, oh, she was, intoxicated, blah, 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 blah. She could have been acting erratically because she was very upset about something, And then he added there were no external injuries to indicate that she had been in an altercation. So no, attack of any kind that he could surmise, and that all of her injuries were internal. He said, I can't say definitively someone didn't push or throw her off. Likewise, I can't say she didn't fall or jump on her own. Therefore, the only options for manner of death is homicide, suicide, or accident, and we don't know. That's why I ruled it as undetermined. So he stated that this manner of death could change if there is any new information in the case that gives a clearer picture of what happened. The State Law Enforcement Division, otherwise known as SLED, is the lead agency in this case, and they declined any comment as this is an ongoing investigation. With that, I will leave you with her music.
Sunday, and today I will be singing Parachute by James Young. Sweetness, I can read your mind. I see your skin turn red when you lie. If you don't wanna tell me nothing, then you can go straight to hell. First I'm gonna show you something. You mess this up yourself. I'm pulling on my parachute, and I'm jumping from the plane we flew. First I'm gonna tell the truth, but then I'm burning my bridge to you. One step was all it really took. And I don't know your story, but girl, I read your book. If you don't wanna tell me nothing, then you can go straight to hell. But first I'm gonna tell you something. You mess this up yourself. I'm pulling out my parachute, and I'm jumping from the plane we flew. First gosh, I'm gonna tell the truth, but then I'm burning my bridge to you. Sweet